Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect scattered abroad that's out here doing this work of truth and sincerity. I'm Brother Bach coming at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and to the hopeful elect. I was going into the news, man, and this post came up. This is from jpost.com. Call up Shemashai. Look, this is the Jerusalem Post, man. It's time to go home, man. We're ready to be back in our homeland, you know? But it says Russia warns the United States of the risk of World War III, you know, which we know is coming anyway. You know, you see what's going on in Iran and everything. You know, World War III is on the way, man. You know, and this must happen, man. You know, so you brothers, if you got any family in the army, man, you need to tell them, hey, man, I need to get back to the house, man. You know, because shit finna start getting real over there in the East, man. It says after Ukraine's attack on Kursk, Russia has warned the Western world that should World War III begin, they would not be confined to European borders, you know. And what's the, you know, the place with the biggest military and the most things, man? You know, America. You know, Babylon the Great. You know, they telling the United States, man, I don't think this is what you want to do. You know, this is says Russia's President Vladimir Putin chairs a meeting on the country's oil and gas industry with representatives of Russian energy companies and official videos via a video link at a residence outside Moscow. It says Russia said the West was playing with fire by considering allowing Ukraine to strike deep into Russia with Western missiles and cautioned the United States on Tuesday that World War III would not be confined to Europe, man. You know, so they talking about shooting missiles over here at the U.S., man. You know, it says World War III. You know, so that's what they talking about. Canada ain't messing with nobody. You know, South America not messing with nobody. You know, and it says the United States encouraged them to do it, man. You know, because you know Ukraine is allies with the United States, man. You seen they had that war with, I forgot, you know, you can look it up, but they had a war and the U.S. intervened, you know, and made them sign a peace treaty. So it says Ukraine attacked Western Kursk region on August 6th and has carved out a slice of territory in the biggest foreign attack on Russia since World War II. It says Vladimir Putin said there would be a worthy response from Russia to the attack. You know, so Russia ain't putting up with that shit, man. You know, they said the United States allowed it. So if they, you know, feel threatened, man, they gonna respond back, man. You know, Trump's just around here like a damn bully, you know, doing whatever the hell he want. You know, and these other countries not gonna take too fond of that, man. Sergei Lavrov, who has served as Putin's foreign minister for more than 20 years, said that the West was seeking to escalate Ukraine war and was asking for trouble. You know, the United States always try to throw rocks and hide their hands, man. You know, but it's going to keep escalating, man. It says since invading Ukraine in 2002, Putin has repeatedly warned of the risk of a much broader war involving the world's biggest nuclear powers. Though he has said Russia does not want conflict with the U.S.-led NATO alliance. You know, that alliance gonna come to a damn end, man. You know, they gonna start shooting damn nuclear missiles, man. It's gonna be an all-out nuclear war, man. You know, and they said they have something they can shoot that can't be stopped by U.S. interceptor, man. It says we are now confirming once again that playing with fire, and they are like small children playing with matches. Whew. Look at that, man. These people is ready to go. They waiting on the U.S. to do something, man. They waiting on Babylon the Great to fuck around and find out, man. Because that's exactly what is going to happen, man. And those missiles are being shot by the Lord, man. Those nukes. Everything is in the Lord's control, man. It says, dangerous thing for grown-up uncles and aunts are entrusted with nuclear weapons in one or another Western country, Lavrov told reporters. Go on. It says, Russia's 2020 nuclear doctrine sets out when its president was considered using a nuclear weapon. He would consider using a nuclear weapon, man. A nuke bomb, man. A nuke bomb can take out a whole damn state, man. Probably more than that. I forgot the square mileage it covers, man. But a damn nuclear bomb would take out a whole damn state, and probably the one beside it. It says will consider using a nuclear weapon broadly as a response to an attack against nuclear or other weapons of mass destruction or conventional weapons when the very existence of the state is put under threat. And they been put under threat, man. You know, they being bombed by Ukraine, and U.S. gave them the okay, man. You know, you can't go fuck around with people's territory and think ain't nothing gonna happen, man. You know, but that's what the U.S. thinks. You know, they think they're just gonna take something, and it's not gonna be any consequences, man. That's what you call a bully. You know, where America finna get bullied, they finna team up on America and shoot those nukes. You know, shoot, they're gonna give it all they got, man. You know, scripture say, let the weak say I am strong. You know. It says Ukraine president, I can't say that name, y'all. You know, say how he wanted, but it said earlier that this month that the assault on Russia's Kursk region showed that Kremlin threats of retaliation were a bluff. Right, man? You're not doing nothing but add fuel to the fire, man. You know, as they say, man, you know, Trump is gassing you other countries up. They think you just gonna be able to do whatever you want, and the U.S. gonna have your back. But when, you know, Russia sees, you know, they encouraging it, they gonna have war, and he says it's gonna have war in Europe, and it's not confined to Europe, man. You know, it's gonna be the West too, man. It's gonna be an all-out World War III, man. You know. It says Russia has said that Western weaponry, including British tanks and U.S. It's like it, man. These damn pages. It says Russia has said that Western weaponry, including British tanks and U.S. rocket systems, have been used by Ukraine in Kharkiv. Kyiv has confirmed using U.S. HIMARS missiles to take out bridges in Kharkiv, man. That's just like, you know, you giving a kid a gun and telling him to do something, man. He doing what he want. You know, and you know, by law, they're going to arrest the person who gave him that gun. You know, a kid, you give a kid a gun, you know, they're gonna arrest your ass too. And both of y'all ass gonna be held responsible, man. So that's just like, you know, the same situation, you know. Let me grab a couple scriptures, man. We'll go to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 5. It says, it's like it was wrong. Salakia, I'm wrong. It's Jeremiah chapter 51, Salakia. Come on, man. You know what this is? The fall of Babylon, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. And actually I can start at verse 1. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind," you know. And Babylon is being a bully right now, man. So what's gonna happen, man? The Lord is gonna send them damn nukes and missiles from over there to here, man. It says, "I will send unto Babylon fanners, and they that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." You know, it's gonna be a desolate place, man, when all those nukes get dropped. It said, "Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in the brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utter all her hosts." You know, them, like you was saying in a post, man, or on a page, they said that they have nuclear missiles and Slovakia nuclear bombs and other missiles that can be stopped by interceptors, man. You know, and that's a nuclear missile from the Lord, man. Ain't nothing stopping it. You know, all the bloodshed has been here in America. You know, you still see it every day, man. You know, with these police brutalities, you know, slave catchers, you know, you see what's constantly going on. It's like it to our people. You know, it's constantly, you know, bloodshed, man, with these damn base men. You know, I'm gonna bring that scripture back in the NLT. It says it says don't this is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 3 in the NLT. It says, "Don't let the archers put on their armor or draw their bows. Don't spare even her best soldiers, man." The army, man. You know, pretty soon they're gonna be knocking on every damn doorstep trying to get a man to go to war, man. Don't do it. Just go to jail, man. You know, we gonna be persecuted anyway. You know, we'll watch them die. You know, because that's exactly what's gonna happen, man. You know, you going over there fighting for a country that don't even love you. You know, it says don't spare even her best soldiers. Let her army be completely destroyed. They will fall dead in the land of Babylon, man. You know, these people are gonna be destroyed, man. They gonna destroy their armies. You know, with these nukes. You know, you think them damn bunkers gonna save them, man? Them bunkers ain't gonna save nothing, man. I'm gonna skip down to verse 58. It says "This is the Lord, the lords of heaven armies, says, the thick walls of Babylon will be leveled to the ground. Her massive great gates will be burned. The builders from many lands have worked in vain. You know, we worked in vain. We know we build their kingdom up just for it to get destroyed. You know, in the Atlantic slave trade, man. It says, for their work will be destroyed by fire. Everything that was built here will be destroyed by fire, man. Those nuclear missiles, man. You know, that's why, you know, what we building here, man? Everything here is going to get destroyed, man. Everything, literally. You're not even going to be able to live over here, man. You know, you seen what happened with Hiroshima and Nagasaki? You know, all that radiation came, and that was even after those nuclear bombs. You know, they have, you know, people over there with birth defects from the radiation. You know, you see all that shit, man. Think about, and it had a picture, man. It showed that the 2 nukes that they dropped, you know, the ones now they got is like 63 times that, man. Just think about it, man. I'll grab this last scripture, still the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. As far I am raising up an army of great nations from the north. They will join forces to attack Babylon, man. You know, let the weak say I'm strong, man. Everybody gonna come up against America, man. You know, they gonna join forces, the allies, and attack Babylon, man. You know, Babylon finna take a huge L, man. It says the enemy's arrows will go straight to the mark. They will not miss. You know, the Lord don't miss. The Lord don't miss his mark, man. So that goes to show you, man, we in these end times, man. You know, it's time to get right with the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. But that's pretty much all on this lesson. Lord willing, will edify. Until next video. Shalom.